Are you looking to send your kids to their preferred school? Then you want to check this out. Hey Teresa, so the P1 registration has just passed.
That's
and
right.
some of the parents walk away very happy and some of them not so happy. Could you share a little bit more how we can increase our chance on getting our kids to their dream school?
Okay, so about P1 registration, I think most parents today are very well informed already. They also will check on the MOE website, to check on the different phases of the school that they're actually registering their kids into.
Yeah.
One important thing is, as a parent, we need to know like which specific phase our kid can register into for the school that we want. If there's a preferred school, then which phase will they fall into? Otherwise, if any other neighborhood school whatsoever, then the phase really plays a lot.
So apparently there are 4 phases, right? Phase 1, 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2C supplementary.
Actually 5 if you count up.
So I think phase 1 is for children with siblings in the school. 2A is for children with parents, siblings as alumni or associated with the school. 2B is for parents, volunteer, or those linked to the school through the church or community leadership. Could you explain a little bit more about 2C and 2C supplementary?
Okay, so for 2C, right, it's like your kid did not manage to fall in 2A, the 2B, and then they have yet to register into a primary school. I mean, Singapore education, you definitely have to enter, right, at the age of 7 years old. So this is when you have your so-called like last chance to apply for the school lah. So then you will fall into 2C. But let's say 2C, because like some schools are more popular for whatever reasons based on their own nature. So they might be oversubscribed and then your kid might not be able to get a placement in that school. Then we have the 2C supplementary.
I see. The last resort lah.
The last resort, that's right.
Before you get an official no.
Correct. But of course, thankfully our government also have in place like we want a place for all children to start their primary school education. So there is like, a number of reserved seats in these phases.
I see.
Yeah, so that there's continuous registration, everything for them.
And I heard from parents is that you can actually search on the website like on the last year how many registrations were there.
Yes.
And then how many placement was given.
Correct.
Yeah, would that help with deciding whether this year maybe it'll be better or something like that? Still hard to say.
I won't say it's a guaranteed, based on last year's results, like the amount of registrants and the available slots, I probably will get my chance next year. I don't think we could place on that, but you can check like maybe based on 3 to 5 years historical data.
It's like searching for property.
Yes, it's exactly searching like property. That's right.
Do you predict that the Dragon Year is going to be very hard for the kids to get to the school that they want?
Yeah, I mean Dragon Year is a typical, always baby boom year.
This is where the competition comes real.
Let's say you get into a primary school, right? Then you pass your PSLE. Then secondary school will be another problem for them. But we'll leave that aside.
So which animal is not so favorable? The viewers out there can plan their pregnancy accordingly.
Personally, I don't have any preference. But from what I see in the public point of view, maybe mouse, tiger,
oh no,
snake. I believe the younger parents today are not so particular on like which zodiac that our kid is being born in.
Right. And when it's time to give birth, it's time to give
Correct.
birth.
So everybody just multiply.
I mean, speaking about increasing of chances, right? The address for registration, how important it is and how can we go around it?
MOE actually have this term homeschool distance. They want to encourage parents and families to not put stress onto the little children. They want the children to be registered into schools that is like really within their homes. But unfortunately, like our alma mater might not be where we are staying, but they want to go back there. Who knows, like, the parents are still in that area, they never shift out of that vicinity all these years. That's when like we could use like our parents' addresses. But disclaimer, you gotta like make this declaration with MOE to say that, your parents are actually looking after your children. They will be residing at your parents' place. There's also a requirement to that. It's not like, I need to register for my P1 registration and then suddenly my kid stays with their grandparents. That's not gonna happen. Because MOE really wants the best for every family, every child.
Yeah, definitely we have to stay by the rules.
Correct.
So that's good. I think many families out there, they do not know that this is an option. Any other options to do it legally?
Yes, so there's also options whereby you can use the address of your new property, the ones that are like actually building under construction, or you can also use a future address, which is like your resale property. So let's say if you are currently in the move, your kid is going to register like in a couple of months time and you're also in the move to a new place.
Like it's in the midst of transaction.
Yes. You can also use the new one. I mean, probably that's the reason why they are moving closer to the school. So you would definitely want to increase your chances by closing down the distance from the school to your
And you got to clock in this registration for how many years you have to register this address?
There's actually a 30-month requirement that you need to reside in this new address.
But for the new address one, is it still 30 months? months upon registering the address? Because technically we can't move it yet.
Correct. So it will be when you move in.
Oh, okay. So I can register the new address, but I haven't moved in, so that 30 months haven't started yet.
Yes, that's right.
Oh no. Okay. So that's why there are some families who actually rent first,
Correct.
register an address that is nearby. But what if I rent and then I stay in that area for, let's say, half a month, and then my new house is ready and it's also in that same vicinity? Can I have a head start on renting for 6 months, and then the following of 24 months that I need to stay in that address, would that still count, or I have to be in the same property for 30 months?
Typically, when you use an address to register for your P1 registration, right, that should be your official parents' residential address. The 30 months should be within one address, not like
I see,
split.
I see. I guess if any of you are caught in that, then I guess you can write into MOE and see how it goes from there. Okay, so basically you mentioned that most of these cases where you want to register your address, right, you have to stay for a period of 30 months, like you stay in there. But where if you're going to register with a caregiver's address, could be your parents or could be a family member, right? How does it work? Does your kid stay with you in your current address or with the caregiver's address?
Okay, so the reason why it's called caregiver's address is you are using the caregiver's address. In this matter of fact, it can be your parents or your siblings. If you are using their address, your kid is supposed to be like tied to them. They have to reside there. But as for yourself, you are not the one who's entering primary school lah. So
I cannot leave my kid over there, so I'm gonna stay with my parents. So anyways, if we all end up in the same house, so
yes, okay, yes.
so we know how it works right now.
Yes.
You know, wrapping things up, right? Do you feel that currently is it wise to buy a property that is 1 km, 2 km radius to the preferred school?
It really boils down back to like based on historical data, how highly subscribed this school is, you know, based on the past history. Like sometimes if it's so highly subscribed and depending on the phase that you are in, you have to count your chances, what is really in for you. We don't want to like make a very big purchase, just move house, you know, stuff like that. I mean, it's not easy things, a lot of logistics going on. Such things, I mean, you really have to boil down like if I'm going to move house, I will be in a more priority phase or not. Being in an earlier phase, does it give me a higher chance also or not? Yeah, because like sometimes even in 2A, it can also be very, very highly subscribed for. That's when people actually, they know they are in 2A, but actually step up one more termination, they go and be parent volunteer. So if 2A they don't get in, they still have 2B to go on. They don't want to straight away from 2A jump to 2C, which actually I see sadly many cases are like this.
So I guess based on the advice given, right, is that we study 3 to 5 years worth of data of how fierce of a competition that school is, and you can decide for yourself that whether is it worth to actually move 1 km to the school and then try your hand on it. But we also want to let you guys know that, you know, it's not a guarantee, but historically it does make good investment in terms of buying a property that's 1 km radius to the school. You can see it in trends. You can reach out to us and we'll show you more of the analysis that generally within 1 km of the good school, right, the price appreciation is much better versus if it's out of that radius. But having said that, right, with this school concept, right, do you still feel that people should move towards the 1 km radius? And if they see that very fierce competition, then you will direct them to another school, is it?
I won't direct them to another school, but I'll definitely ask them like, what are your choices? Really, is it a must die must get into that school? Don't get, then how? Your kid don't start primary school, man, cannot, right? Yeah, so I mean, we have to like really weigh out all the options for the family. If this school cannot, how about alternative school, you know, like within 1 km radius or so? I mean, if you're gonna move 1 km, then we've got to see what's available in 1 km. But if you're gonna move between 1 to 2 km, then of course we have a wider range. Are you okay with those kind of schools also? Because that it will actually put you into different phases really, depending on which school you are going to also.
I see. So in terms of your analysis work for your clients, right, you're also looking into the schools. If let's say this school really cannot, but then there are similar schools with similar missions, concepts of teaching, then you will direct them to that, and also look into the investment side of things.
Definitely, yes, yeah. Because we don't want to, you know, just because of moving for primary school and then our own assets, we don't look after it. I mean, if we are going to move, we want to look after our own asset holistically as well.
Right. So holistic is the word. So feel free to reach out. My name is Aaron. You can reach out to me at 9299-5939.
And my name is Teresa. You can reach out to me at 9184-6682.
And this is the end of the P1 registration advice that we are giving. Feel free to reach out for a deeper analysis and we'll see you on the next video.